Welcome to the Full Tracy Money Audio Commentary. This is Owen Tracy recording, and it is 4:56 p.m. and that is Central Time. And today is Friday. It's November 7th, and it's the big picture, long-term audio and video for the various different asset classes. Well, I thought we'd kick off with the Fangman Index. It's currently at 21 trillion point seven or 21.7 trillion, and that is a fairly extraordinary number, but any number really has to be put into context relative to anything else. So 21.7 trillion relative to the Nasdaq's the Nasdaq 100's market cap of 31 trillion. In other words, the Fangman Index is 2/3 of the Nasdaq 100, but this is only 8 shares. So when we think about what the performance of those 8 shares is, we're talking about Apple, Meta, Netflix, Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, and Tesla. And this is an equal weighted index. It's just looking at them all together. And these are the market caps, not exactly the share prices. So when we think then about what's going on in the wider market, well, the Nasdaq 100 has bounced again today from the region of that 50-day moving average. Now, we've had quite significant volatility over the course of the last couple of days. For example, Microsoft broke down to a new low. We've had quite a bit of volatility around Tesla and the decision about whether to give Elon Musk greater control of the company in return for him paying more attention and hitting some very ambitious landmarks in the expansion of the company. But that was a pretty big dynamic on the downside this week. And if we just zoom in a little and look at what does that look like on the chart, well, we can definitely see that it bounced from the 50-day moving average. And we've had plenty of examples of exactly that kind of activity over the course of the last 6 or 7 months. But this is the largest downward dynamic that we've seen since the initial decline in the period from February through to the April low. And of course, that was very much in conjunction with the Liberation Day shock to the markets. Now, the next question, of course, is that big 25,000 level going to hold? If we look at the chart, I think that there are 4 very significant areas of potential support. You have the 50-day moving average is where it bounced today. You have the 25,000 level where it closed. You have the 200-day moving average, which now coincides with the region of the peak from earlier this year. And then you have the 1,000-day moving average, and that is not all that far away from the lows put in back in August of 2024, or it was really only for 1 week that it dipped below that level during the Liberation Day scare. So we're at a rather critical juncture here, because there is certainly the potential that this is as bad